anything happened, they would respond very quickly. But to prevent anything like that from happening, they're out around the city in force, just patrolling and visible.
But we can tell you Fort Worth police are not posted at polling locations themselves, saying that could be considered voter intimidation by some. All right, now to
their ballots in the 2020 election.
This is really an important day.
People across the country braving long lines during a pandemic to choose between two opposing visions for America over the next 4 years. Most saying it's the most important election of their lifetime.
People have to realize the freedoms that are on the line.
And as voters make their voices heard, President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden make their final pitches, hoping to win over undecided voters. Biden spending the day in his birth state of Pennsylvania, pushing for every possible vote.
The president's got a lot of things backwards, one of which is he thinks that he can decide who gets the vote. Well, guess what? The people are going to decide who gets to be president.
And he will watch the results in Wilmington, Delaware. Meanwhile, the president making an election day stop at his campaign headquarters in Virginia before heading back to the White House to wait for returns. The president sharing a message for those who didn't vote for him if he wins another term.
Everybody should come together, and I think success brings us together. I think we're set for tremendous success, and success is going to bring unity.
Long lines were not the only problem recorded at polling sites. Some experienced opening delays and sporadic equipment malfunctions. The pandemic and contentious election prompting nearly 97 million voters to exercise early voting options, meaning there's a chance we may not know the outcome of the presidential election tonight. In Henderson, Nevada, Robert Sherman, Fox 4.
And it's before at 5, and I'm going to kind of walk you through the scenario again. And first, a disclaimer, as we start to see some states called, this is just our toss-up map. So none of this is reflecting what has already been determined, but this is the path that you're looking at to victory for both candidates. So if we start off by giving Joe Biden some of these states where he's really leading in the polls, you give him Nevada, he feels confident about that. Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan are also states that his campaign has said they feel very confident about. And then if you already give him Pennsylvania at that point in time, he's already over the 270 electoral vote threshold. If you look at on the flip side, and then instead you give that state to President Trump, then you look at just everything that has to go right for the president in order to make a victory happen. You've got to win North Carolina. Ohio looks very solidly in the president's camp in terms of the polls. Then you look at Georgia, which as of right now is still too early to call. Florida is another state he needs. Texas, of course, he needs, and still we're considering this a battleground state at this point in time. At this point in time, he still has 261. You give him Iowa, polls show that he's up there as well, and he is still shy, just too shy of the 270 needed. So really it's going to rely on Arizona, because even if he is to pick up this congressional district in Nebraska and pick up this congressional district in Maine, that would only get him to the 269, which results in a tie. We don't want to go down that road to start talking about that just yet. So that gives you a sense of just everything the president needs. And keep in mind, that is with Pennsylvania. Without Pennsylvania, it makes it very difficult for the president to win re-election. Stephen, Heather.
All right, Blake.
Right now, so here's a live look, a polling location. We've been monitoring this location. It's in Blue Mound. It's north of Fort Worth. Still a long line out there, but again, if you're in line before 7 o'clock, you'll get to vote, and you can find the latest results on our website at the state capitol.